Today, two conference hopefuls go toe-to-toe in a battle to survive in the ACC. 2 weeks ago, Clemson quarterback Woodrow Dantzler shot up everybody's Heisman list and became a contender. Now, Woody and the Tigers must shake off last week's knockdowns, only to face the body blows of the ACC's top ground game. Terrence Williams and the Demon Deacs look to keep Clemson on the ropes on Homecoming Saturday in Winston-Salem.
Too much offense, too much Woody Dantzler.
Touchdown FSU. Touchdown Florida State.
That is caught. Touchdown Georgia Tech.
Guess who? Julius Peppers.
It's never too cold for Clemson fans to tailgate, and they are in force here in Winston-Salem today. But it is a chilly day, homecoming for the Wake Forest Demon Deacons, and they've got the Clemson Tigers as their guest and in their sights this afternoon. Welcome as Citgo presents ACC football. The Clemson Tigers at 4-2, taking on the Wake Forest Demon Deacons live from Grove Stadium in Winston-Salem. Good afternoon, everybody. Steve Martin along with Doc Walker. And Doc, the most popular video in the country is North Carolina's win over Clemson and how they managed to put a stop on Woody Dantzler.
Well, it really is incredible based on what we saw Dantzler do against NC State. 517 yards, and I didn't think anybody could slow him down, let alone stop him.
And, of course, he's done his best damage on the road this year, as we saw against NC State. You see here against Georgia Tech.
He's been the ultimate road warrior. He just breaks your back. The guy is so elusive, so confident at the quarterback spot, kills you in the air, kills you on the ground. A great leader.
And you look at the yardage here, Doc. He was at Heisman level against NC State. This is a testimony to how good North Carolina is defensively. And maybe, you know, Tommy Bowden is saying maybe it was a day that just wasn't our day.
Wasn't this day, but it also had a lot to do with the personnel of NC State. When you can throw out a Peppers and company and Sims and those guys, they are pros.
Now, of course, Wake Forest comes in here with a vaunted option attack, top ground game in the ACC, but they don't have two quarterbacks that they use to run it, as Anthony Young will not play today.
That makes it very difficult when you're so used to doing it one way. And then the fatigue becomes a battle. I mean, Pearson comes into the ball game. He has a sprained ankle, and so he's going to definitely have to kind of judge himself, also still be effective. He can't go down.
But he's a better throwing quarterback than Young, so they'll have to go to the air, and they'll have to depend on the #1 ground-gaining weapon of the Wake Forest Demon Deacons, #2 in the conference, Terrence Williams.
Well, Terrence Williams, another great back in the ACC. This young man has great explosion, nice hands, and supervision. It's all the trademarks of all great running backs. This guy's a go-to guy.
Wake Forest will have to find a solution to Woodrow Dantzler, and they hope that Terrence Williams can be enough of a surprise offensively this afternoon. We're just about ready. It's a very cold crowd here today, but it's homecoming, and it's a crossroad games for these two teams, Clemson and Wake Forest. More on stopping Mr. Dantzler when we come right back. The Citgo ACC Game of the Week is being brought to you by Citgo. Your neighborhood Citgo is proud to support today's athletes. Citgo, we know you. By Ice House. At Plank Road Brewery, we'll make the Ice House. You make the ads. For details, go to icehouse.com. By Alltel. Alltel Total Freedom plans give you nationwide calling with no roaming or long-distance charges. By Geico Direct, the sensible alternative. By Choice Hotels International, the power of being there. Go. By Chevy, the cars you can depend on, the cars that last. We'll be there. And by BB&T. BB&T, you can tell we want your business. Welcome back to Grove Stadium. It's cloudy, or partly cloudy, and very, very windy. Clemson and Wake Forest going at it. Steve Martin here along with Doc Walker. And Doc, when you take a look at the standings and see the importance of this game, one of these teams is going to vault up there and stay on the tail of the top three.
Well, you want to be in position. A big game. Talk about Maryland and Florida State, but this is all about, if you're Clemson, you say to yourself, we have FSU the following week. You cannot afford to lose any ground, and Wake wants to make a statement. I think you agree with me. They could have won 2 more ball games. They could be right in the thick of this.
They feel they could be. And last week, of course, North Carolina put the stops to Woody Dantzler. We talked with Wake Forest coach Jim Grobe and asked him what he plans for the Demon Deacons to stop this great athlete.
We'll have to bring some linebackers a little bit for pressure, and the problem with that is sometimes you get out of rush lanes. So it'll be interesting to see if we're able to control him with 3- and 4-man pressures. If you have to bring more than that, it's a real problem because that forces you into some man coverage, and when you do that, the only way you know Woody's running with the football is the crowd cheering.
That's a great line. The crowd's cheering, but let's see how North Carolina did it a week ago.
Well, they did it with their front four. Those big hosses up front, led by Peppers, give you the ability to stay in lanes. They're physical enough to get upfield. You can't give up contain. There you see Sims and you see Peppers. Now watch what happens in this case. Snapping the ball, these guys get upfield. They're strong. They keep the pocket, make him go inside. There's Peppers and company for the sack, and the key is in company.
And company is right. And the Tigers are here and ready to go, and so are the Deacons. It's homecoming on a windy, cold day in October. Well, we've got football coming away. We'll kick it off next. Welcome back to Winston-Salem. There's the series record between these two, heavily weighted in favor of the Clemson Tigers, who have won 6 of the last 7 games. Let's bring in the third member of our broadcast team with a very important aspect of this afternoon's game, the return game. Here's Mike Hogwood.
Yeah, Steve, I think special teams are going to play a big part in today's game. For Clemson, an explosive kick returner in number 2, Brian Mance. He's a junior. Now, he missed the North Carolina game. His brother passed away. He was with the family, but he is back this week, ready to go. And they're hoping he can break a big play and give an advantage to Clemson. Now on the other side, maybe the fastest guy on both sides of the ball today is John Stone. He's one of the ACC's real track stars. He's a senior. But Jim Grove says about this guy, hey, he's not a track star playing football. He's a football player who happens to run track. They want the ball in his hands. You'll see number 2 for Wake Forest also playing a big role today. Steve?
Thank you very much, Mike. And of course, Wake Forest has won the coin toss, but they have deferred their option to the second half. More importantly, they've taken the wind at their back here in the first quarter. And this could influence Tyler Ash's kick to Brian Mance, who's standing with Joe Don Reams near the Clemson end zone, and we are ready to go. Temperature 47, but the wind chill is 31 degrees, and you see the effect of the kick on Tyler Ash's boot. Takes it out of the end zone, and they'll bring it out 1st and 10. Let's take a look at our Chevy lineups this afternoon for the Clemson Tigers. Travis Zachary's been Mr. Everything. We've talked about Woody Dantzler, but Zachary has scored 46 touchdowns. Hamilton, McKelvey, Curry, and Woodward, a young receiving crew.
Young receiving crew. Kyle Young up front, the offensive line. He's a 2-time academic All-American. Smith, Watkins, Merritt, and Bird will have their hands filled. They want to rebound off the Tar Heels loss.
Here comes Woodrow Dantzler, 1st and 10 from his own 20-yard line, and he'll throw to the flats. Tipped there by Calvin Pace. And this is a good time to look at the Wake Forest defense. Brought to you by Chevy. Let's take a look at that front 4. Of course, you'll see Monteith Sharp in the middle. 3 tackles for loss this season. You see what he's done with fumble recoveries, Pace, and Bowling, the front 3.
And Marquise Hopkins, the linebacker, an animal, 100 tackles a year ago. That secondary, again, very stable. They will hit you.
2nd down. The pass goes out to the redshirt freshman, Derek Hamilton, and it is complete. So Woody Dantzler finds his man that time. It was almost the identical play.
Darby Okorji again. Big Ed is all over the place. Here's a guy 4th in the team in tackles. Has an interception. Very active, real quick. Gets off blocks well.
3rd down and 5. Clemson going with no huddles. Both of these teams go with no huddles, and they get probably 5 to 10% more offensive plays off.
Challenge on our camera crew.
Sure is. Here comes Dantzler out to the side. Dantzler's got 1st down yardage and more. Walking the tightrope and is knocked out of bounds at the last second by Marcus Magruder. And it's a nice gain out to about midfield. It's going to be a 30-yard gallop or somewhere close to that. Now they're going to say he marked out of bounds at the 43.
We've talked a lot about the Carolina game, and what they were able to do is not give up contain. You can't let him get outside. Great effort there by Cal Pace, but Cal's too big to go after Dantzler. You can't give up contain and hope to corral this Tiger.
He stepped out of bounds at the 43. It's a gain of 18. 1st and 10. The 43 of Clemson. The Tigers now hand off to Rembert. Scored a pair of touchdowns against Wake Forest last year. Carbo Okorji is leading the way on tackles, and there's no gain on it for Bernard Rambert. From Somerville, South Carolina, junior. There's Carbo Okorji from Stafford, Texas. 6'3", 225-pound senior. Claim to fame as a walk-on on the basketball team. He busted a backboard at Duke in pregame warm-ups.
Now that's prestigious. I love that. I'd like to have that on my resume.
2nd down and 10. Dantzler out of the pocket, swings it. There's a flag on the play as the pass is complete to Zachary for 2 yards. And the flag is right in the vicinity of the catch. And there's also a flag in the Clemson backfield. So let's see what the call is going to be. There's Courtney Maze. He's our referee this afternoon. So penalties offset. We'll do second down over again.
You hope to get an advantage with the no-huddle offense. If you can get a defensive unit to line up off sides, you want to disrupt things. You want to create havoc. But you don't want to also commit an offense on the same play.
No, it's true. Well, what we're seeing from both staffs, Doc, is that plays are being called from the booth upstairs, and quarterback's waiting for them. Sometimes no huddle isn't quick enough. Slant pass to Hamilton. He drops it right in his hands. That was a big problem for the Tigers last week.
Yeah, double-digit drops. And this offense, you have so much emphasis on Woodrow Dantzler. If he can throw the ball, I don't think you can beat him if they're effective in the air game, but they've got to hold on.
Well, coming into this game, or actually coming into the North Carolina game, he was hitting 65% of his passes. He's down to 56% now. And he's in a definite passing situation, 3rd and 10 with no score. Pass over the middle, complete to Derek Hamilton for the first down at the Wake Forest 38-yard line.
And this is what is so impressive in my mind by Woodrow Dantzler. Everyone talks about his running ability. This young man can throw it. I mean, he takes a nice read. Here's a ball right down the middle. It had to be right in that spot because you know you're going to get hit. Quentin Williams comes in. He delivers the blow.
24-yard gain on the play will put them into Wake territory at the 38-yard line. Dantzler would play action. Setting down the middle, has a man open, and that is Crosby. Roscoe Crosby, the true freshman from Union, South Carolina, has great speed. He's been dogging injuries most of the year, but he is someone that we'll look for. We didn't see him against NC State.
No, Travis Zachary makes this happen. See that fake? That ball fake, you freeze the linebackers and the safeties. Woodrow kind of hesitated. Might have cost him on that. That's a play. If they make it, he gets his confidence back.
Second down and 10 from the 38. Dantzler running the option and dances out of the tackle, picks up some blocks on the corner and gets down to the 27-yard line of Wake Forest. And that is typical of Woodrow Dantzler.
Just the way Brad Scott drew this up.
We got a flag on the play.
You watch this now, and I'm sure even as a coordinator, Brad is amazed at times. That was defended well, but you can't stop this guy when he gets out. Coach is sitting here with his hands on his head going, what do we have to do?
And it's going to come back because of a block below the crackback block on Clemson. Ami Bowden very interested to see how his team's going to respond. His club's 7-1 after losses, but now they're going to be marched back to their own 44-yard line. It's a chop block, an illegal chop block against Clemson that time. And it erases a nice gain by Woody Dantzler. Second down and 35 to go. 3 wide receivers to the wide side of the field, and the tight end is up. That's Hall.
Good pressure down for Wake.
Looking for Crosby. Breaks a tackle. Crosby on his way, and he's not going to get the first down, but he'll get into Wake Forest territory at the 42-yard line.
Again, Bracey right at the point of attack. That play maybe should net 1 or 2 yards. Got to make the play in. And then you talk about playmakers. This is why you want to recruit great athletes. You put the ball in the hands of a guy with some quicks, you put him outside, and you let him roll.
14-yard gain on the play. There's Roscoe Crosby on the season. True freshman. They've got some great receivers. They are deep in receivers at Clemson. They have to be. They lost 4 to injury, and 2 are still sitting on the sidelines. Dantzler back to throw. Hit as he throws. And the pass from Matt Bailey is incomplete. And the pressure put on that time by Cargor Corgi forced the throw maybe a second earlier than he wanted to.
Well, you mentioned Roscoe Crosby had a knee, Youngblood, broken leg, Elliott, again, foot, Jackie Robinson. I mean, they have had more than their share of injuries at the skill spots.
Back to punt is Win Kopp. He's a transfer from Georgia. He's kicking into a wind. This normally would be an advantageous punt field position, but it's going to be fielded there by Fabian Davis at the 13-yard line, and that's where it'll be 1st and 10 for Wake Forest, their first possession of the afternoon. So they force Clemson to punt. The penalty slows them down. A 27-yard punt, but no return. Wake Forest first time out with a football when we return. Welcome back to Winston-Salem. There's Jim Grove, head coach of the Wake Forest Demon Deacons. We are scoreless as Citgo presents ACC football once again. A partly cloudy, breezy, and cold Saturday afternoon. James McPherson on 1st and 10 will hand off to Terrence Williams, and that's why Wake Forest is the top ground game in the ACC. Terrence Williams leads this.
I like this. Don't waste any time. It's not about, we're not going to trick you. We're going to stick the ball right in your face. Great up front. Again, Collins, nice block. I like the way the kid goes to collapse the football. You don't want an error early on.
9-yard gain. Very good run. 2nd down and inches. At the 29.5 out of the shotgun. McPherson to throw, complete to John Stone for the 1st down, and still keeps his feet. Eric Meekins will bring him down at the 36-yard line, and Wake Forest will move the chains. Let's take a look at our Chevy starting lineups now for Wake Forest. Terrence Williams, 100-yard man, and he scored 5 touchdowns this season. John Stone and Ray Thomas and Jason Anderson as the receivers.
All right, Angelina leads the offensive line, one of 3 seniors. Look at the starts. This group up here is solid, and you can show they can block on the run.
They've only allowed 9 sacks this season. 1st and 10. Here's McPherson keeping on the option, tries to reverse field, and he is going to be stopped there by Javon Bush. Let's take a look at Clemson's defensive alignment up front. We look at the defensive line. Khalid Vaughn, of course, 3 tackles for loss this season. McNeil, Eason, and Bush across the front.
John Leak, outstanding linebacker, 5th in the ACC. Thomas and Carson. Chad Carson, an animal in the middle. Hafley again, 19 tackles against Carolina. Again, a secondary that is not afraid to strike a blow.
2nd down and about 13 now. Loss of 3 by McPherson on the play. Play action. Roll out pass, and then he'll tuck it under and run. Has some running room and has the 1st down. Out to midfield. Gain of about 15 on the play.
Well, that's great work. And don't forget, folks, this young man has a bad ankle. I mean, McPherson, I thought he was really hampered by it on his initial run. Again, play action fake. See Carson inside, Chad Carson, 46, stuck inside the pack. Then he makes a good decision, get a little help on the outside by Davis.
1st and 10. Handoff, Phillips, a pitch to the corner, and this is going to be Fabian Davis, and he runs into the interference in front of him. That was John Stone, and then Charles Hafley says this play stops here.
I think this is the key for Clemson. They have got to force that toss. You want to force the toss, and then you want to take it away and give him a false sense of security and make him run. Try to wear him out. McPherson is used to trading off with Anthony Young, so you want to exhaust those lungs.
McPherson, of course, from Tucson, Arizona, 6'2", 197-pound senior at the helm of the offense here. His 2nd down pass is complete, and it's out there to Jason Anderson, and he is close to another 1st down to the Clemson 41-yard line.
Steve, Jason did a real good job. He looked the ball all the way in his hands. We've watched a number of kids drop passes that are good, well thrown. See him head right down on the ball. And you know coaches Govis, now watch him, watch the head go right down on the ball. That's focus. Very well done.
Ryan Hemby wrestles him down and holds him for the 1st down. It's 3rd down and 1 now for Wake Forest. No score. Wake with their first possession of the football. Out of the eye, Terrence Williams, and he's got the 1st down at the 40 and then some.
Claybo, Collins on that left side.
A lot of names that we have announced a couple of years here.
Know them by heart, baby. And they up front, get a good surge. They come off the ball. You see very little to no penetration on the point of attack. That's way downfield. Ray Thomas, the tight end, getting to the 2nd level.
It's been a tough week for the Clemson defense. Reggie Herring, their defensive coordinator, has really worked them hard after last week's loss. Here comes McPherson on the corner, hit as he threw, and it'll be out of bounds, intended for Anderson, but good pressure that time by J.J. Howard, the sophomore from Hughie, South Carolina. There's Jason Anderson headed back to the huddle from Charlotte, a redshirt freshman with 18 catches already on the year.
Reggie Herring's group on defense, they will come after you. He's going to need great linebacker play, and he's got some outstanding backers. We talked about Lee, Carson, Thomas. These guys are agile, and he's going to definitely need as much help as possible on the perimeter.
Manfred is split wide one way. Back to the top side, it's Anderson. 2nd down and 10. Here comes the end around with Stone. He'll turn the corner, square his shoulders, but a good stop by Ryan Hemby. Redshirt freshman from Orangeburg, South Carolina, who won the position in practice later of the week.
Physical. You know, at Clemson, they have outstanding cover corners, but you've got to be able to come up and force the run as well. Wasted a nice block by Tyson Claybo out on the edge. Tried to give him a break. He wouldn't give up ground. Boy, that's very well done. That's textbook.
Reggie Herring says Hemby is a good cover corner. He needs to work on his tackling skills. Right there, he was very stout.
Good. Boy, he hit through contact.
They're down in 10. Out of the shotgun now. No score. Here's the quarterback draw. Right up the middle. Big opening, and he's got the first down or close to it. Meekins makes the stop, but he may have first down yardage at the 28.
Boy, that's a competitive run. That is a competitive run. And don't forget, the Tigers get a good look every day in practice, looking at Dantzler and Simmons. And see, he made up his mind. He was going backwards on that one.
That's a second third down and long play that McPherson's called his own number successfully. And off through the middle. And it is Williams for more big yardage down to the 19-yard line where he's sniffing at another first down.
Man, I'm impressed with their tempo. They are quick off the ball. No hesitation. You can look at a confident offense.
There'll be a gain of 8 on the play as you look into the eyes of Vince Azzolina, the veteran center from Easton, Pennsylvania. It's a second down and 1. 9-yard gain by Terrence
Look
Worthy.
at those eyes, man. That's confidence. And this is great offensive line weather. It may be tough on Mike Hogwood down on the sideline, but those offensive linemen, baby, they love this weather.
Out of the eye, Mahaley and Williams for McPherson on 2nd and 1. Hand off Williams. Chalk up another first down. He's at the 18 and moving.
See, that's 178 pounds is not supposed to be able to do that. This kid is strong from the waist down.
Another 3-yard gain. There's Williams out of Wilmington, North Carolina, a junior. 5 touchdowns rushed for this season. There's his average, a healthy 5.5 this afternoon. During the regular season, he's 4-4.
Yeah. I mean, that you can win with that.
Sure can. In motion now is Davis, but the handoff goes to Williams, and Williams up front on the inside option takes it up to the 17, maybe the 16-yard line, gain of possibly 2. But what a good ball control drive for the Demon Deacons.
And the more effective they are between the guard center gap, the more effective they'll be on the edge.
Go to the sidelines and Mike Hogwood.
You know, coaches told us yesterday it was important that James McPherson get off to a good start. Down here on the sidelines, you can see it in his eyes. He came to play today.
13th play of this drive that started on the Wake 15. McPherson rolls out. He drops a football, and it is recovered by Clemson's Bryant McNeil.
Well, that is how you disrupt an offense that appeared, and I agree with Mike Hogwood. These guys were possessed. They had all the right looks, but you got to get in. That's great defense. McNeil will come in and again not be moved. Couldn't fake him out. See, he kept his eye on the hips, had the strip, then went and had the recovery. That's a triple. And Wake, the tackle, strip, and recovery.
That's right. A TSR. 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. Hand off to the fullback. That's Jasmine. And rarely does Clemson use the fullback, but that time it works for some nice yardage out to the 38-yard line. Brad Scott, the offensive coordinator, along with Mike O'Kane, trying to develop some different looks for people who want to concentrate on number 1.
What they better do now is hold the ball for a while and give their defense a chance to regroup, cool that Wake Forest offense down.
6-yard gain. Here's Dantzler this time, hit once, and finally slowed at the 40-yard line after a 2-yard gain. Alvin Pace in on the tackle.
We're going to talk a lot about secondary play on both sides of the ball. Because of the quarterback, you have got to come in, force, and help. See, good outside-in relationship. That's outstanding. You want to squeeze him in. That's what Carolina did a week ago. Williams there, outstanding job.
No score, 3rd and 2. Pass to the flats, complete to Hamilton for the first down, and he's going for more. And he's worked himself into Wake Forest territory at the 49-yard line. Kellen Brantley finally brings the redshirt freshman down.
Curry gave him a nice shot out there. Hamilton as well. Watch your two guys at wide receiver spot. Robinson inside, so you get that block. That's good. Then on the outside, you want to get that. Keep him firm. Stay up high. They do a good job. And again, when you have talent behind you, you have a chance to be successful.
10-yard gain. Makes it 1st and 10. All at the Wake Forest 49-yard line. Clock moving quickly in this first quarter. It's mostly on the ground. Here's the pass, though, to Hamilton. And more yardage after the catch down to the 35-yard line. A connection of 14 yards from the 49 and another Clemson first down.
Now that's sweet. The fellas will have a high five on this one in the film studies when you watch it. Good play action again. All you got to do is freeze the backers for a moment. Watch that. Gets a little twill move. That's nice.
He's closing in on a record by freshman receivers. Here's Zachary with his first carry from scrimmage, and Travis Zachary slices up the middle for about 5, and then there's a flag thrown in late.
That's against Clemson. Put a tight shot on Coach Bowden, because you'll see steam coming out of his ears.
Penalties killed their last drive.
See the steam?
Yeah. Even on a cold day, you can see it.
Yeah. A perfectionist. And all coaches, he understand that. He's being encouraging. He's not killing the kid. But he's saying, in order for us to win, we got to play smart football. And that's what coaches say. They want to give you, put yourself in a position to win.
2nd down and 20. Ball moved back to the 45-yard line. Dantzler has 3 wide receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Has some opening. Pass. Scary. Nice play by Eric King. Freshman out of Frederick, Maryland, Woodstock, Maryland, actually. Eric King, who played in the spring.
King had a chance to go big time on this. I'm still trying to figure out what the route was on this. They improvised. Boy, you got to make that pick. That's not only on your hands, that's on your elbow.
3rd down and 20. Clemson has been 3rd and long twice this afternoon. Scoreless game. This drive about to could fizzle out here unless Dantzler has a big play. Dantzler, pass deflected, but right into the hands of Zachary. It'll be shy of the 1st down. And it'll put Clemson up at the 36-yard line.
Calvin Pace, I bet he was somewhere right in the middle of that. Different offense for Clemson that we witnessed against NC State.
Yes, it is.
When they were running downhill all afternoon long.
Clemson going for it here on 4th down, and the reason is a 20-knot breeze blowing in their face from the 36-yard line. Might as well.
Hey, with Dantzler, you always have a chance.
4th and 11. They need the 25 for a 1st down. Dantzler, Pace pursues him. It's incomplete. Wow. Clemson gives up on downs because Calvin Pace is all over Woodrow Dantzler, and the Wake Forest Demon Deacons have the football back. No score here in Winston-Salem. We'll return after these messages from your local ACC station. 2.5 left to go this first quarter. Clemson and Wake scoreless. Wake has stopped Clemson on downs, and now we're going to see a smooth running Wake Forest offense, at least from the first series. But this play breaks down right at the beginning. Good penetration by Maurice Fountain and among others.
It's nothing like when you dodge a bullet. Clearly, Wake Forest was going to put themselves in a scoring position until McNeil forced a fumble. And I'll bet you that Coach Herring had an earful for his troops when they made it to the sidelines.
2nd down and 13 now. Wake Forest working from its own 35. Back to throw. Here's McPherson. Had some time, but good coverage on both potential receivers, the tight end and especially Fabian Davis by Brian Mance. There's Charles Hafley in on the play as well, but McPherson had to really get rid of that.
And McPherson is not at 100%. He has the bum ankle. Watch the pressure. Outside in, relentless. And that's what you need. I talked about those linebackers. Thomas, Carson, Leak. The 3 of those guys so far have been brilliant.
Thomas brought the heat that time. 3rd down and 13. McPherson back to throw. Has some time in the pocket, but underthrows, or throws it behind Fabian Davis.
Boy, that was a great adjustment. He nearly pulled off the impossible. Because if you get that ball in the hands of Davis, who is running, he's got a chance to break a big one.
McPherson on the day, 2 for 5 and 24 yards. That's the first 3rd and long he hasn't been able to convert today, and it's 3 downs and out quickly for Wake Forest.
The beauty for Clemson then to stop them on first down.
Yes.
Don't allow them to pick up the 4 to 6 yards on the ground.
On a play that they expect to get 4 or 5 yards.
Bingo.
In punt formation, this is Chris Raleigh. He's a sophomore from Tampa, Florida. They've had some problems with their kicking game. This time a wind-aided line drive picked up by Joe Don Reams. Joe Don Reams turns the corner, squares his shoulders, but he'll be driven out of bounds at the 31-yard line. And that's where Clemson
a lot of
will
speed
take
on
over.
that coverage team. You're right. He looks like he had the corner.
Timeout on the field, and 1:37 left in the first quarter. Back after this message from Advance Auto Parts. Welcome back to Winston-Salem. Minute and a half left to go in this first quarter. No score. Clemson picks up the ball after a 47-yard punt. Dantzler, 1st and 10 from his 31. And he'll slide to the 35-yard line for a 4-yard gain. Remember, at halftime, we'll be taking a look at the Alltel halftime stats.
Eric King, good job at the cornerback spot.
Let's take a look at the score. That big game at Nebraska. No score there. And look at this one. This is just up the road in Blacksburg. Wow. Syracuse by 2 touchdowns. Purdue leading Northwestern in the first quarter. Our score, no score. 2nd down. And about 6. Inside handoff, Zachary. That's the design play. That'll get them about 5 yards. 1 yard shy of the first down. Tackle made inside there by Ed Carbo-Corgi. And also making a tackle inside was Monteek Sharp. There's Travis Zachary. So far this season, 3.5 yards. He's a touchdown.
Oh, he's the man.
46 in his career.
The more he gets it, the better this offense functions.
Yeah, and the second carry by the fullback.
Key breaker.
Yep. That's Chad Jasmine. Fullback, his 2nd carry of the day.
Love fullbacks, man. Guys come in, block most of their career, free up those halfbacks. Tough guy.
Jasmine with the carry, gets about 3, gets out to the 43, 1st and 10. Dantzler back to throw. Plenty of time.
Great coverage.
Everybody's waiting for him to come up. Monteek Sharp is the man who checks him, but he gets a good 5-yard gain on the play out to the 48-yard line. And the first quarter hurrying to a close here. It's been a quick first quarter. Ball control the key. And we've had no score on the scoreboard. As after 1 here at Winston-Salem, it's tied at 0-all with the defenses making stands on key 3rd down plays. Back to Grove Stadium in Winston-Salem right after this. Welcome back to Wake Forest University, where Citgo presents ACC football. Clemson and Wake Forest. Everybody's bundled up on a scoreless first quarter. We start the second quarter with Clemson with the ball, yard shy of midfield, and here's Travis Zachary. And he is shot down there by Eric King after a 5-yard gain to the 46-yard line.
Eric King is up. He's having a good day.
Yes, he is.
He's played defended the pass very well. Shows you there how a corner should come up, play it from the outside in, and be physical. Thank goodness for this hot chocolate.
I'm telling you what, we're going to need a gallon. I think we're catching all the wind here. We got a measurement here for first down. Let's see what the result of the chain gang is going to be here, as it's very close to a first down. And this is our first quarter stats presented by Choice Hotels International. Rushing yards in favor of Clemson. Time of possession, which will be important today. 1 turnover in this game, and it's to Wake Forest, and that killed the drive deep.
And Wake is usually dominant when in terms of time of possession, but we're still very young in this game.
Clemson successful on the first down, and they are 1st and 10 at the Wake Forest 46. Both teams haven't been shy about getting into the other's territory. Matt Bailey Derek Hamilton of the wideouts to the top side. Roscoe Crosby to the bottom, and Dantzler is looking that way.
Going for it.
Crosby in a foot race with Eric King, and it was even.
Picked the wrong guy to pick on that play.
King with good coverage that time. He's broken up 3 passes.
Eric is hot. The cornerback, so much of it relies on confidence. And when you get a couple of plays that go your way early, I mean, you just blow up. And right now, he is tough to deal with.
At the Wake 46, 2nd down and 10. 4 wide receivers set now for Clemson. Handoff Zachary, and Zachary's not going far. And the handoff is tackled there by Kellen Brantley, and with an injury update, let's go to Mike Hogwood.
Hey, a blow for the Wake defense. Monteek Sharp, their nose tackle. They're really counting on him in this game today. He got hit in the head really hard. It's a little woozy. They are looking at him now and do not know if he'll be able to come back.
He's a good one. Joe Salsich is his backup, and he's in there right now, redshirt freshman. 3rd down and 9. Clemson 4 for 6 on 3rd down so far in this game. Blitz is on. Dantzler will not escape Nate Bowler.
Yeah, great scheme. Boy, Dean Hood, the coordinator for the Demon Deacons, has really had this thing worked out. 3 down linemen. He's got so much he can throw in terms of in the secondary. Looks, so many people place a lot of garbage for a quarterback. Then you see a little twist stump inside. 52 in your screen. You watch him getting in there, Hopkins. A lot of pressure, and they finish the job.
Keep people in the middle of the field on Woodrow Dantzler, and you
And never stop your engines running.
win Kopp. The wind at his back now. And this one will sail into the end zone. Ooh, Hamilton almost got a foot on it at the 1-yard line. 13:21 left to go in this first half of play. There's no score, and Wake Forest has the football when we come back. Around the League is presented by Geico Direct. This week, there's the big one in Tallahassee as the Terps head down to take on the Seminoles in Doak Campbell Stadium. Maryland's never beaten Florida State in 11 meetings. Also today, Duke goes out of conference to host Vanderbilt in Durham, and the Cavaliers head to Raleigh to face the Wolfpack. Virginia's won 5 of the last 6 meetings. When you look at the BCS standings, you see the impact that Maryland-Florida State game has. Of course, Maryland 8th in the BCS standings this afternoon. And, of course, we've already seen maybe a shot to the shorts of Virginia Tech. They're down 2 touchdowns. Our score, no score. Scoreless between Wake Forest and Clemson. Wake Forest 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. James McPherson is checking off the line of scrimmage. Play clock still shows 10 seconds. Fred Staten is in the backfield now. Here's the pitch. Fabian Davis turning the corner, but no. Not allowing him to do it is number 38, Eric Sampson.
Great stretch by the Tigers. I'll guarantee you McNeil was somewhere in the vicinity. Well, when your defensive ends and Vaughn and McNeil have a great responsibility in this ball game to keep everything upfield.
About a yard gained on the play. 2nd about 8. And off straight ahead. And Fred Staten gets maybe out to the 26-yard line, and it would be a pickup on the play of about 4. Staten is a sophomore from Charlotte, North Carolina. He averages 4.7 a carry. And there's another key 3rd down for Wake Forest. They are 3 out of 4 on 3rd down this afternoon. Movement by Clemson, and they're going to be 4 out of 5.
Everybody pointing down there.
And Bush is the guilty party. He's trying to hide. 5th-year senior.
Yeah, because you don't want to face the sideline.
No. It's another big penalty. There have been 3 key penalties on Clemson this afternoon. One stopped their first drive. Another thwarted some field position, and this one will give Wake Forest a 1st down.
It's never a lack of desire. You know, kids want to be successful. You get so excited, and then give McPherson a lot of credit with a hard bark out of that cadence.
1st down. Here's Staten. And he has stood up after he gets to the 34-yard line. Nice tackle there by Rodney Thomas. Thomas is a junior from Cadwell, Georgia.
Those linebackers, now watch it. Free safety. Watch him coming here on the field. like a free safety who is physical. A lot of guys think you just hang around the back and call signals. The great ones get in there in the mix, and they challenge you with their helmet.
Eric Meekins, as he surveys the Wake offense. 2nd down and 7. Fake reverse. McPherson to the air, and he's got Jason Anderson.
Saved it.
Tied up there with Brian Mance, who might have picked it off.
No, he saved it. Give Jason Anderson a lot of credit on this one. I think he realized he couldn't get to it, so he put on his defensive cap. Now watch him. Good inside burst release. Now he's straightening it up. At this point, see, he didn't accelerate. He didn't accelerate through it. If he's running, he'd be gunning right now.
Yep.
Kind of choke down his engines. How did the quarterback know it? You don't know that. But he did recover and save the interception.
Big 3rd down coming for Wake. No score. There's Jason Anderson. McPherson's missed on his last 4 passes after connecting on his first 2. 3rd down and 7. And now timeout called by the Deacons. So timeout on the field with 11:25 left to go in this 2nd quarter. No score, Clemson and Wake, and we'll be back after these messages from your local ACC station.
Wake quarterback Anthony Young cold on the sidelines in street clothes. That means it's all up to number 11, James McPherson. Confidence has been a factor with him today. They hope he can keep it.
Key 3rd down, end around to Fabian Davis. He's headed for the 1st down sticks, and he's going to get it, but there's a flag down in the backfield. This may be coming back. Davis had great burst and got beyond the 42 to the 44, but for the first time today, Wake Forest looks like they're going to pick up a penalty.
Might have been John Stone. I thought John gave pretty good effort on that. His technique may have been lacking.
Holding on the offense, 10 yards, previous spot, repeat 3rd down.
And we see on the return, and right there. And we see it. That's where the action occurs. Hands on the outside. You want to keep him inside. Then he held on at the end. All of us, every once in a while, hold a bit, but you got to let it go.
3rd down and big yardage. Here's Stone looking for some sort of opening. There is none there on 3rd and 17. And a host of white jerseys with purple pants led by Brian McNeil come in on the tackle and stop the Wake Forest drive. And we've got a player down, and that is going to be number 56, Khalid Vaughn.
Boy, outstanding right in. I was just about to say that Reggie Herring would be thrilled to death when he pulls the movies out, but he won't be happy now.
Now, not on this play losing a player like Khalid Vaughn. He's 27 tackles on the season, 3 for loss. He has 7 for loss in his career, and he's down on the field with 10:58 left to go as they stop Wake Forest on that 3rd down play. But penalties again rearing their heads for both teams, and now Wake Forest pays the price of a penalty that took away a 1st down.
Khalid right side in. There's McNeil always in the picture. He's the trailing in, still emphasizing contain. There he tries to close in, and then right at the end could be shoulder. Boy, this is great contain. I mean, look at the white shirts. The white shirts here don't flank, keep him on the inside and continue to pursue. Yeah, I guarantee you that that's somewhere in the neighborhood of that shoulder.
So Khalid Vaughn is still on the sidelines as he's there, and the Clemson medical staff takes a look at him. Let's bring you some scores from around the country. There's some big things happening around SEC today. Auburn, of course, up by a field goal on Arkansas.
That's a big one.
Oklahoma and Nebraska. And Syracuse still has that 2-touchdown lead on Virginia Tech. Purdue leading in Big Ten play over Northwestern. Ohio State over Penn State. What a win for Penn State last week in the last second.
It really was.
Michigan State and Wisconsin are tied in the 1st. And we want to invite you to stay tuned, because coming up at halftime, we're going to be highlighting the best of the ACC, presented by the best Don Pablo's.
Oh, boy, could I use that right now?
The real enchilada.
Oh.
Got it.
Sitting back, just the smell. Love the refried beans, the rice. And I'm a
Don't do that,
man.
Don't do that.
I love that.
4th down coming.
Just mention the margaritas. Come on. What are you talking about?
4th down and 16. Punt formation. Rowley will be punting into the wind. Low line drive. Joe Don Reams tries to get away from it. And it rolls down to the 33-yard line. A 40-yard punt, not bad considering the teeth of the wind he was going into. Joe Don Reams gets away from it. And Clemson will come out here with field position at their own 33-yard line. We'll take a look at these Demon Deacons next week as they travel north to Charlottesville, Virginia to take on the Virginia Cavaliers. Forward to seeing they have a 2-quarterback situation up there in Charlottesville. Matt Schaub has been starting quite regularly now. First and 10. Here comes Dantzler. Pitch to the corner is Zachary, and he stopped at the corner. And the tackle there made very nicely by Caron Bracey, redshirt freshman from Jacksonville, Florida, and only his second start. Jamie Scott also in on the tackle. Inverted running back to linebacker from Concord, North Carolina. It's a gain of 1 and only 1.
Bracey and Chukamba been given a lot of support from their safety spots.
Second down and 9. Dantzler over the middle to the tight end Hall. And Hall gets up to about the 46-yard line. It'll be a pickup on the play of 6.
Not spectacular, but that's what Clemson needs to do. Take what's available. Because Wake has done an outstanding job. I like the way they've matched up defensively.
Third down and 3. Clemson this afternoon 4 for 7 on third down. They typically are the best in the ACC in this department. Hand off, Zachary. Stretched out, Chacomwa leads the charge. King and also Marquise Hopkins clean up the play.
Oh, it'll be Chacomba. Giving nothing up. Boy, both sides on defense have been so sound fundamentally. I just love it when you see the shoulder pad square. You see the numbers straight. Inside there, I mean, that's just, I just don't know how you get any better than that. You get a lot of hats to the ball, and you're fundamentally sound.
Win Kopp to kick it away. He'll have the wind at his back. It helped him to a 47-yarder last time. And picking it up, Fabian Davis. Breaks the tackle, heads to the outside, and is knocked out of bounds at the 33-yard line. And Bernard Rambert and Owen pick him up. It's a 39-yard punt and a nice return by Davis of about 11 yards.
Strong return. Defensive battle. Did you figure this?
No.
You look at Dantzler and you look at Wake on offense and all of their respective weapons with Williams and.
But you figured ground or game or ball control, and that's what we've got. Two teams, very few threes and out. And that's the first one for Clemson this afternoon.
Yeah, but no action in the red area.
No, very little. In fact, I don't think anybody's been deeper than the 30. Inside handoff to Staten, and Staten struggling for yardage, gets about 2 out to the 35-yard line. Staten and Williams represent a two-headed monster at running back for Wake Forest, but you have to wonder, we saw Anthony Young on the sidelines, how much different the texture of this Wake offense would be with him in as an option quarterback.
Yeah, it changes things, but I think they've adapted well. I mean, they've been their own worst enemy. It's been penalties that killed them.
Staten, big hole off left guard. Following Tyson Claybo out to the 38. Credit Clemson for shutting it down quickly. Meekins is in there on the stop along with Rodney Thomas, who's been all over the field for Clemson this afternoon.
It's no sin to be blocked. The sin is to remain blocked. Now watch the Tigers. Again, you get a little diversion, a little action outside. Now at this point, you look at there are no white shots. No white shirts right in the vicinity. Azalina right in the middle, and all of a sudden, here they come. Boy, that was a nice hit at the end.
And off again up the middle. This is Staten, and he has the first down at the 45-yard line.
Williams gives you a little juke. Staten gives you some power. 230 pounds, 6-footer, sophomore.
Jim Grobe likes the way his offense is moving. Let's take a trip down to the sidelines with Mike Hogwood.
Yeah, Khalid Vaughn, he did hurt his shoulder, but he's toughing it out. He's back out there, though. They've lost a linebacker, John Leak, sprained ankle, gone for the game.
Wow, he's their leading tackler.
Yeah, that hurts him.
And carrying the football again is Staten, and this time for about 8 yards into Clemson territory at the 47-yard line.
Coach Grove has really got to be pleased with his offense. Now, I think they've recaptured that tempo. Chad Carson at the end, 46. Now watch this. Well, that's a little,
That's a little restraint.
Chad might have a future in the ring.
2nd down and 1. Staten trying to pick his way through the mess there at the point of attack, and he's brought down by Rodney Feaster and stays down for a gain of 1. So it'll be 3rd and 1 coming.
For those of you that watch Chad on that play, you go, hey, what was up? His hands were open. You know, his hands were open. He was like pity-patting. Like he had his fist balled up. That might have been an infraction. I like what's going on now in terms of Wake holding the ball. They're going to keep dancing on the sidelines.
3rd down and 1. Staten again for the 1st down. Carson will bring him down, but it looks like the spot of the ball will get him the 1st down.
Chad's angry because he was there. He was there to make a play, and Fred shows you some fancy footwork right at the end of it, and I think it bought him the 1st down. Watch right again, right in the middle of your screen. See the little footwork, that little slide right there. That took Chad Carson out of the play.
Staten has carried all 6 plays of this drive so far from the 33 now at the Clemson 44, and here's his 7th straight carry, and Clemson hasn't found an answer to it yet. He's
Workhorse
to the 38, now to the 37.
Steve is invaluable when you can hog the ball and you control tempo. I mean, you put yourself in a position to win. If your defense is on, you usually win.
2nd down and 3. Wake's only made 1 big mistake here today, and that's the fumble.
It was a big one, though.
And that killed them. Yeah, they were down at the 19-yard line.
And a penalty took them out of I thought, a possible scoring position.
The first non-Fred Staten ball carrier of this drive is Terrence Williams, and he is set back for a loss of 1 back to the 38-yard line.
Boy, Easton's a big one. Jovan Bush.
He's been playing hurt. There's Reggie Herring. Didn't have an awful lot of good things to say about his defense this week. He worked them hard against the option. Right now they're suffering tackle to tackle.
Well, that's another guy that doesn't compromise. I love his style. He demands a lot out of his kids, and he usually gets it.
3rd and 4. Williams.
Nice cutback.
Oh, yes. And pulling him down is Khalid Vaughn, who, as Mike Hogwood said, is toughing it out with that shoulder. There's another Wake Forest 1st down at the 33.
Good to see Khalid back. Now we'll watch this. We talk about the emphasis on tackling. Look at that offensive line surge. And then Khalid flies in at the end and holds on for dear life. What movement on his right side.
1st and 10 at the 33. This drive started at the 33 of Wake. McPherson to the flats to the tight end. That's Thomas headed downfield. Thomas upended at the 10, fumbled out of bounds, but it stays in Wake's possession.
He carries inside the 10.
What a play fake.
Ray Thomas, a Canadian from Hamilton, Ontario, with a catch.
Another great tight end in the ACC. Look at that ball fake. I mean, he just took Washington right out of his socks. Thomas then. Boy, big, strong, talented, intelligent. I mean, these tight ends, I just can't say enough about them.
26-yard catch by the tight end Thomas. 1st and goal. Wake with the deepest penetration of the day. Handoff. Williams fighting at the 3. Tackle made by Rodney Thomas inside. And it's going to be a gain of 4 on the play.
You're Clemson now, man. You got to tighten up. Coach Grove, he's excited. He's got to be excited about what's going on because he recaptured the momentum they had in the opening drive.
11th play of this drive, Doc. 2nd and goal. Wake knocking on the door. Williams broke down the door for the touchdown.
That's the way you finish.
Terrence Williams excites the homecoming crowd with a 4-yard run and puts Wake on the board first.
What a drive. It had all the elements. Play action, power football, and then Williams finished with a little bit of little hot sauce on that?
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. They went 11 plays, Doc, and 1 pass. And a big pass to the tight end at 26. The kick by Tyler Ash is good. And the Wake Forest Demon Deacons, led by Terrence Williams, into the end zone from 4 yards out. His 6th rushing touchdown of the season. And it's Wake Forest 7, Clemson nothing. Wake Forest leading Clemson 7-0. 3:34 left to go here in this second quarter. Scoring on Terrence Williams, 4-yard rush, 12 plays, 68 yards. And it took him 5 minutes to do it. A series that featured 27 yards rushing from Fred Staten. All ready to kick it off. Tyler Ash to kick it off for the Wake Forest Demon Deacons, and it'll come up short. Joe Don Reams will pick it up. Opening, and Clemson will have good field position at the 40-yard line. With a preview of what's coming up on a halftime, let's send you to the man who'll bring it to you, Mike Hogwood.
Well, of course, coming up at halftime, we'll have our Don Pablo's Best of the ACC. We'll have our Player of the Week coming up, and we're going to get comments from both these coaches about their adjustments and what they plan to do in the second half, because it looks like we're going to have a dogfight down to the wire here.
Not many adjustments for Wake Forest coming this afternoon. More of the same. Just eat up yardage on the ground and keep Woody Dantzler off the field.
Hey, Mike Hogwood, no gloves. I'm impressed. I like that. Brave the conditions.
That's where our That's where our margaritas went.
Oh, that's right.
First
Hoggy would definitely have the enchiladas.
Here comes Woody Dantzler. We haven't seen an awful lot of him, as Wake has kept him pretty much contained in a bottle and on the sidelines. And it's going to be very close to another first down. Give him 9 yards on the kick.
Woodrow Dantzler has the ball in his hands. I wait to see something big happen.
2nd down and 1, and off Ram. Oh no, this is Jasmine, his 3rd carry of the day, and 2 have been good for first down yardage.
Well, that shows you how effective the Coach Hood's defense has been for Wake Forest, because they are forcing Clemson into other options.
So far,
they've seen a lot of Zachary.
No, we haven't. They've kept Zachary under control. They've kept Dantzler for the most part, although his total offense now is over the century mark.
And when Clemson can get those talented receivers in the game, it's very difficult to open up for their running game.
Well, it's got the wind at his back now for the next 2.5 minutes. They'll go to the air this time to the flat. Zachary. As dangerous as a receiver as he is as a runner. And he gets about 3 yards upfield to the 39-yard line.
Boy, you see Hopkins there. He always seems to be there. Those black shirts just converge. Now, both teams defensively really get it. They get it on how you got to break to the ball and you got to gang tackle.
Wake Forest feels they should have 2 more wins on the docket. They felt they played toe-to-toe with Maryland, and their offense turned the ball over twice in the red zone against NC State. 3rd down now coming in about 8. Dantzler on the play fake. He has the corner. Cut back in. Bowling missed him. Marquise Hopkins picks him up. Let's see if he got the first down.
Well, Sharp did a great job to force him inside. Then he cut his engine off. And Dantzler continues to go.
And you cannot give up on Woody Dantzler.
You can stop when you get in the shower. You better keep going after this kid.
That's right. That was quite a play by Pope, because he took a gamble. There was nobody outside of him. There's the measurement for first down. And looks like he's got it.
All-American effort.
Yep. Woodrow Dantzler.
That's the effort of a true All-American. I mean, you draw it up, and it looks like you're in position. There you see Sharp. Right at this point, he forces him inside, then you lose him. And you got guys flying all over the place. Bowling gives great effort, but this young man is special at quarterback.
1st and 10 at the Wake Forest 32. Up here, 7-0. Clemson trying to even the score. Dantzler with a play fake and a pass to his fullback Jasmine. Incomplete.
Boy, the play fake held Brantley. That's exactly what it was intended to do. They just couldn't hook it up and make it work. It's all about play action. If you want to squeeze linebackers, there you see inside, there's Hopkins. On the outside, 54 had been paralyzed. Brantley should have been out in that area, that flat, if you will, and he couldn't.
Gruder covering on the play. 2nd down and 10.
Dog.
Shotgun, yeah, they're coming. Dantzler gets out of it, though. Will throw. Complete to Hamilton. Hamilton close to the score. Does he get it? Yes! Touchdown, Clemson.
Oh, man. Boy, that negates a supreme effort by Colleen Brantley. He had a great rush going for you. But I mentioned sooner or later, Hamilton, Bailey, Curry. Now you watch him. Lance Stewart on the camera for Jefferson Pilot Sports. Look at his work, folks. This is fantastic. Right in your living room and end zone for a score.
His second touchdown catch of the season and his 5th reception of the afternoon. Here's the kick from Aaron Hunt, and it is good, and this ball game is tied with 1:16 left to go.
This is how you spell talent. When you have it defended, when you have everything worked the way it should be, and you still can't stop it, because you get an All-American at quarterback who gets outside of the pocket with great speed, nice throw, and then you have speed on the edge, and that simply kills.
Beats Tacumwa down the field, and Derek Hamilton having a strong afternoon. The redshirt freshman from Dillon, South Carolina. It's his 2nd touchdown catch of the year and his 5th pass reception of the day, and that evens the score at the 1:16 mark. He has 80 yards in receiving yards on the afternoon.
He's a player. No slight on Wake. Wake was all over the place, but that's why when you have an opportunity to put Clemson away, you have to bury it.
Woody Dantzler, that's going to be his 10th touchdown pass of the season. It's a 6-play drive of 53 yards. Took him 2:09 to execute, the fastest either team has executed this afternoon, and Hamilton from 32 yards out from Woodrow Dantzler. Dantzler completing 64% of his passes on the year. Here's Tony Lazzara getting set to kick.
Well, you pick
the Clemson Tigers.
Excuse me, Steve. You pick your poison.
Yeah.
But you'd rather have him beat you on the ground. If he beats you in the air, it's pretty difficult.
That's where he says his game has improved. As you look into the eyes of Fabian Davis. Lazzara to kick it away with the wind in his back. Davis, and this is John Stone. He'll get a chance at it. Not much going there. Montz is in there for the tackle. Out to the 18-yard line. There's Montz. He's a freshman that Clemson's awfully excited about. Tavon Montz from Jacksonville, Florida. Now Wake Forest will have the football again.
And like most of their people, what's so impressive is their speed.
Wake with 2 timeouts remaining. Score tied at 7.
Coach Calhoun has lined up now.
Staten again. Featured back this time to the 5. You got a principle, you stay with it.
There you go. There you go. See, I like the guys that don't try to trick you every play.
Yeah.
They try to come up with new innovation. Hey, man, you get that big offensive line up front, and they have been steamrolling people. You let them do it.
Yep.
Let them play.
They haven't stopped us yet,
Nope.
so why change? Just because the score's tied. Clock ticking away, 42 seconds and counting here on 2nd and 4. Staten alone setback. And he gets it again. Not as much running room this time. Eason there on the tackle, but Chad Carson made the initial hit. See on Pyle.
Brian McNeil plays the game the way it ought to be played. When play on, play away, the guy never stops.
Timeout call by the Clemson Tigers now, as they think they might have some time to do something with it if they stop Wake Forest here on 3rd down.
Well, the way their offense is designed, I mean, that's one of the things that pays off for them. I mean, they don't need a lot of time to hurt you.
Right. Well, they proved that last play, last series. They came in 2 minutes. Clock recycled to 22 seconds.
That's not good news there for the Tigers. John Leak.
Now, he looks like he's going to try to win the locker room and walk on that thing. It looks like he's been retaped. He's the leading tackler for the Clemson Tigers. He has not played since the first quarter because of an ankle injury. 76 tackles on the season for a guy who played just special teams last year. This is the improvement in Wake Forest from this year, from last year. They were 0-6 at this point, 6 games deep. They hadn't scored as many points. Of course, they are doing a lot better job defensively, and their rushing offense leads the ACC.
Yeah, that's the key. They control the football.
They're down and 1. Staten trying to keep Wake in control of the football, and they do. Move the chains out to the 33-yard line.
Staten's a beast.
He is.
See Tim Bennett trying to push to Powell. And that offensive line, boy, they work well in concert.
And what a different look. Staten at 210, as you mentioned, and you got Williams, who's more of a slicing scat back at 178 yards. He's got the quickness. Staten's got the power.
Thunder and lightning look.
We may not get another playoff here in Winston-Salem. Jim Grobe says we proved our point. We can move the ball on the ground. Let's go into the locker room and take a 7-7 ball game and talk things over. And that's how it'll wrap up. So on the ground, Wake Forest stays, and Clemson comes back to tie here at halftime. The Tigers head to the locker room on a cold day. They're hurrying to get back there this afternoon. The sun that we anticipated is gone, and the shelter of the locker room will be a welcome sight for both of these teams. It's been a good defensive struggle as our Mike Hogwood is getting ready to stand by. Looks like he's going after Wake Forest head coach Jim Grobe to talk about what went right in that first half, and a lot did. Let's go to Mike Hogwood.
Well, Jim, there was a lot right that went on with Wake Forest in that first half. Ground game really seemed to work today.
Well, it worked, especially in the second quarter, Mike. It was good to us. We had to come back in the third quarter and get and establish it again. It's really disappointed in the defense giving up the score right before halftime, but we're in it, and that's where we wanted to be.
I was going to say, you have to be where you want to be. Now, what do you tell the guys in the locker room at halftime?
Well, they got to play. They know they're in a dogfight, and they know they're playing a great team, and so we got to come out and do good things. We can't turn the football over. We got to hang on to it a little bit on offense, and the defense has got to regroup and come back out and play like they did all of the first half except for the last 3 minutes.
All right, a positive first half for Wake Forest. Jim Grobe headed to the locker room to talk to his Deacons. We are all tied here in Winston-Salem. It is halftime, 7-7, Deeks and Tigers.
ACC football is brought to you by Chevy, the cars you can depend on, the cars that last. We'll be there. By Geico Direct, the sensible alternative. By Choice Hotels International, the power of being there. Go. And by Citgo. Your neighborhood Citgo is proud to support today's athletes. Citgo, we know you.
Homecoming in Winston-Salem for the Wake Forest Demon Deacons. They got on the board first, but Clemson scores just before the end of the half. We're all knotted at 7. It is a cloudy and raw, cold day here in Winston-Salem. Players warming up in the locker rooms for what we think will be a whale of a second half. First quarter, the Deacons drove down, but they fumbled deep into the red zone, weren't able to come up with any points. Their scoring drive, it was 11 plays. It was only one pass, but it was a big one from McPherson to his tight end, Ray Thomas, and then it was Terrence Williams who took it in for the Deacon touchdown. Clemson comes back, though, and with under 2 minutes to go in the half, they put on a great drive, march it down, and get a score, and that is our play of the first half. The touchdown pass on the part of the Clemson Tigers. Woody Dantzler. He can do more than scramble. There's Terrence Williams with the touchdown for the play for Wake Forest. And Dantzler to Derek Hamilton was the touchdown for Clemson. Passing yards, well, Clemson has a lot of them, 111. Wake Forest only 50, but the score is tied, and that's what is important in the game. So the Tigers now we'll try to see if they can get a little more balance and get some running game going. Wake Forest, on the other hand, trying probably in the second half maybe to get a few more passing yards to complement that great running game. Well, let's take a look at some stats now. It is time for Don Pablo's Best of the ACC. Best is presented by Don Pablo's, the real enchilada. Bruce Perry of Maryland still leads the league in rushing. He's sixth nationally, averaging 135 yards a game. We're watching Terrence Williams and Woody Dantzler play today in this game. Both are great runners with the football. Chris Ricks of Florida State, second in the league in passing efficiency and 24th nationally, while George Godsey is 19th in the nation. He leads the ACC in that category. Woody Dantzler also there among the league's best best as well in passing efficiency. On the defensive side of the ball, Greg Gathers of Georgia Tech, third in the league in tackles for loss, by a couple of fine defenders, E.J. Henderson of Maryland and Julius Peppers of North Carolina. And, folks, that is a look at Don Pablo's best of the ACC. Lots more halftime here. It's homecoming, the band on the field for Wake Forest. The score is all tied at 7. We will be back with more from Grove Stadium in Winston-Salem right after these messages. Folks, we're tied at 7-7, and everybody now trying to find a way to stay warm here in the second half. But I think we're going to have a hot game down on the field. As you heard Jim Grobe say, it's going to be a dogfight. In just a moment, we'll hear what Tommy Bowden says, what adjustments he's made in that locker room, maybe to get that offense going just a little bit more. And to talk about the first half and what we might expect in the second half, let's send you back to our game announcers now, Steve Martin and Doc Walker.
Thank you very much, Mike. Well, at the outset of this game, we thought that one of the keys, obviously, is stopping Woodrow Dantzler, and Jim Grobe's team has done a pretty good job of that. He only has 43 yards rushing on the ground here at halftime. And they've done it with primarily 5 and 6 defensive backs. I mean, a 3-down lineman front. So innovatively, they've done some things with innovation on defense that I think are really, really good. And, of course, you look at what Wake has had to do. Jim Grobe's had to trim down his offense a little bit because he doesn't have both quarterbacks available. But James McPherson has been looking to Staten and Terrence Williams, and they've done a good job on the ground. Yeah, they've had everybody involved. It's been an equal opportunity offensive effort, but that fumble hurt them early on. If you take away a fumble and a penalty, I mean, Wake Forest would have been in the driver's seat of this ball game. Well, that fumble will lead off our highlights. It stopped Wake's earliest penetration into Clemson territory. You talk about McPherson now. He entered the game with a bad ankle, but you really couldn't tell. But McNeil wouldn't give him up. He had a forced fumble, a sack, and a fumble recovery. Then Williams showed you a little juke in and out. This got him on the board. You had a 7-zip game, and then Woodrow Dantzler, the magician, gets outside the pocket, gets downfield to Hamilton. Hamilton, 32-yard touchdown, and tied it up at 7-8. Let's take a look at our all-tell halftime stats. I guess one of the big ones is that time of possession. Wake Forest has owned the football for 16 minutes, and the way the half ended, Doc, didn't look as if they're going to give it up anytime soon. No, it didn't. That's their trademark. Time of possession, also rush offense, passing yards. They have to pick that up. Remember that one, I think, 28-yard pass play to the tight end. If you take that away, they've done very little in the air game. We are 7-7, tied dead all here at halftime. A cold homecoming crowd and more from Wake Forest right after this.